Hey, welcome back everyone to another Persona 5 Phantom X video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the next few banners that are coming up on the global side of things. So starting things off, we know we are getting Marian and Yui on either Wednesday or Thursday depending on your time zone. But starting with Yui, because she is the first limited single target DPS we're getting, she unfortunately in my opinion is a skip, unless you love her aesthetic, which she looks amazing in my opinion, or you actually do enjoy her gameplay loop. But in my opinion, her gameplay loop doesn't feel good because she's based around follow-up attack damage with only a 35% chance to proc at A0. And if you're free to play, I do not recommend getting any dupes unless you're duping out Chord right now, which will be coming in the next 2-ish months probably, I would imagine. But on top of her follow-up attacks, it's based upon her ally being buffed by Sparky Surprise, and it goes from a 35% to really a 45% chance because of this ability right here, as well as needing an ally who can give shock damage or apply shock to the enemy. And then right after her release, or with her release I should be saying, we also get Marian, who is the premier healer. And she is the premier healer all the way until Yukari, which is a Persona 3 collab, which she left about 2 weeks ago on Taiwan. So we're still looking very far away from getting her. But she unfortunately is another skip because she is going to be a standard unit. And in my opinion, you shouldn't be using your premium currency to pull for a standard unit, because after 2 weeks, she will leave the 50-50 and go into the standard pool. So that means you can pull her by losing a 50-50 or with your standard contracts, your standard pulls. But she is an amazing unit, and if you want to grab her because you never know when you're going to get her, that's not a bad idea, and that's your call. I'm not going to blame you for it because she is a good unit. And then the next unit that comes out after Marian leaves, along with who's going to still be with Yui, because they're going 2-week banners, but they last for 4 weeks. So our next one is going to be Fox. Fox unfortunately is another skip in my opinion, unless of course you love the units, you love Fox from Persona 5, but his gameplay loop is based around Fox's gameplay loop is based around his counterattacks. So so foes have a 65% chance to activate what's called Resonate, which is a counterattack. Another problem with him, and you'll see some mini gacha games, is that if a damage dealer scales off of defense, they just fall off very quickly, which was the case for Fox, on top of needing a shielder as well as someone who can give defense, which the only one we have right now on global is Yuki, which she's not a bad unit to do with Fox, but who we're really waiting for to release is another standard character called Cherish, who does what Yuki does but better, gives defense as well as shielding, which Fox needs both. And the reason why Fox wants shield is because of his passive ability called Creation. When gaining shield, increased damage bonus by 2.5% for 2 turns, stacking up to 6 stacks. So that right there is giving 15% total damage every time he gets a shield, as well as some of his abilities having shielding, and him getting, when using skills that give shield, increase Pierce by 6.7%, which Pierce isn't super needed right now. And then after Fox, we're going to get another Persona 5 collab unit called Makoto or Queen. But Makoto is the first character I would advise not skipping completely, because she power creeps Yui within a month, and she will not be power crept until 3.0 when we get Mont. So she's going to be the single target queen for quite a while. And her entire gimmick, all she requires is having a debuffer that does elemental ailments, unlike Yui, who needs to do follow-up attack on a very small scale. So she does massive amounts of damage very quickly, and her best in slot unit comes with her on the banner, which is Vino, who's going to be a 4-star, and she does a lot of elemental ailments for Queen. And then the last character that we'll be talking about is Phoebe, who is another standard character, but Phoebe's one character I would maybe suggest pulling because she is a standard 5-star navigator, and she's our first 5-star navigator, and we won't get another one until Futaba, which Futaba probably won't be here till November, December. And Phoebe just outclasses both Okayama and Puppet. So maybe you want to pull her. I'm going to seriously consider pulling her, but I'm also a small spender. As a free-to-play player, you might want to consider skipping and hope you get lucky on either the standard banner or by losing a 50-50. I know saying lucky losing 50-50, but if you lost a 50-50 to Phoebe, I wouldn't say that's a complete loss, especially with how generous this game is with its pull currency. But the ultimate character I would suggest everybody to pull is Chord. She is the premier support unit. It is highly recommended to honestly get as many, to even go for awareness on her, so dupes. Even just stopping at A1 is nice because it just makes her very easy to play, and she's the first character I would even say get her 5-star weapon because it just fills the highlight gauge. And she is a OP support all the way going until the P3 collab, just because the P3 characters use a new system instead of highlights. But with that, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys all have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.